Did you know that the highest paying jobs this year are actually the boring ones? Not the flashy tech jobs, not the learn how to code jobs, and definitely not the jobs that people are talking about today. Everyone assumes that these jobs, they're too simple to pay so great. And here's the crazy part. Most people, they scroll past these jobs every single day. They don't even realize that they pay $80,000, $100,000, even $150,000 per year, all while requiring no degree in most cases, no fancy skills, and definitely no stress. Listen, these jobs are so boring, you might fall asleep reading the job description. So if you've ever felt overworked, tired, exhausted, begging your boss for a quick bathroom break, then this video might low-key change this entire year for you. In this video, I'm breaking down 10 of the most boring but high-paying jobs that you can get this year. And the good thing is, they're always hiring. You're going to learn exactly what the job is, how much it pays, whether you need experience or not, and how exactly you can get hired. After doing that much research, at this point, my friends are calling me the job detective, okay? Which is fine because most boring jobs, they actually pay more than the exciting ones. And I want to help you to find that job that gives you the freedom that you need, that's less stressful, and that doesn't drain the life out of you, my God, every single day. So let me take you back to this moment that I will never forget. So I had this client, he was a super friendly guy, the nicest guy I've ever met, okay? He actually worked a fully remote job. He sat in a tiny home office with the smell of coffee right next to him every single day, all while he updated the same data sheet every single day. If Excel had a sleep mode, then this job that he did would definitely, and I mean definitely, activate it. But when tax season came, I nearly fell out my chair. No joke at this point. Because this man, this quiet man wearing sweatpants, was making more money than the manager at his previous job, who used to tell him that he lacked personality. But who cares when in reality he wasn't stressed, he wasn't burnt out, he wasn't overworked, and he wasn't talking to 50 to 100 customers per day. The reality is he found a boring remote job, and that totally changed his life. And that goes to show that most jobs that people actually laugh at, those are the jobs that are actually changing people's life. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is simple. Most people, they just overlook all these opportunities simply because they don't come with a fancy title. But in real life, boring work, it actually pays bills. You don't have to chase all those big titles, all those stressful jobs in order to earn good money. So with that said, the first boring, highest paying job is actually a compliance analyst. Compliance analysts, they can make anywhere from $70,000 to $135,000 per year. This job is literally making sure that companies follows the rules. That's it. You read documents, you check boxes, and pretty much just make sure no one gets the company sued. So your day-to-day would look something like this. You would be reading and interpreting policies and regulations. You'll be reviewing internal procedures and making adjustments. You'll conduct compliance audits and risk assessment. You'll prepare reports for management. And maybe sometimes you'll be emailing, hey, we can't do that. As a compliance analyst, you'll be sending a lot of those emails. Now, here's why a lot of people ignore this type of job. It sounds dry, okay? It is dry. How you can get started is to take a basic compliance certificate course, which only takes 2 to 3 months. After you've taken that certification course and you've educated yourself on your industry, the next thing you're gonna wanna do is to apply to places like banks, insurance companies, corporate companies, and you definitely wanna highlight attention to detail on your resume because this job is very detailed oriented, and if that's your skill, then this will be the job for you. The second born highest paying job is a job where you explain things, and that's it. This is a technical writer, And this position is paying $75,000 all the way to $140,000 per year. With this job, you can write user manuals, FAQs, and instruction manuals. If you've ever opened a box with a new toaster and you wondered, who wrote this? That's the person who wrote it, a technical writer. And yep, that could be you, my friend. For a technical writer, their day-to-day looks like writing step-by-step guides and manuals, editing instructions for clarity, breaking down complex topics for beginners, creating onboarding documentations for employees, and even collaborating with engineers or developers or other career specialties. And here's why it pays so much. It pays so much because people overcomplicate everything. And because of that, these companies, they hire these professionals to make things a lot more simple. The next job sounds scary, but it's mostly checklists and forms. This profession is a data privacy specialist. They make anywhere from $95,000 to $185,000 per year. In this job, you protect customers' data and you restrict or monitor who have access to this. So basically, you just make sure private information stays private. Now, your day-to-day is going to look like reviewing systems access and permissions. You'll be updating company privacy policies, and you'll be performing internal audits to prevent leaks. You'll also be documenting all compliance activities. Training employees on privacy protocols is also going to be very important in this career. Now, here's why it pays. It pays so much because one leak can become a big lawsuit. Think about it this way. Companies would rather pay you 6 figures than to pay lawyers 7 figures. It doesn't get any easier than that. Most people skip this job because they think they need a big tech degree in order to get this job, but in reality, no. Now, here's what you can do to get started. You first need to obtain a privacy certificate. You'll definitely need to learn basic Excel and documentation skills. Next, I want you to apply to finance, healthcare, or tech companies. And finally, emphasize attention to details and confidentiality on your resume. Now, the fourth boring but high-paying job is an insurance underwriting analyst. This job pays anywhere from $65,000 all the way to $125,000 per year, depending on your experience level. For this job, you analyze risk and either approve or deny policies. That's it. Now, here's what your day-to-day would look like. You would spend your day reviewing insurance applications and claims. You'll also be calculating risk scores. A lot of the times you'll be approving or denying coverage based on data. You'll spend a lot of time communicating with agents or clients, and you'll also prepare risk reports for management. Now, the good thing about this job is that many companies, they provide training from scratch. So you literally need no experience. Of course, you do need to have strong organizational and analytical skills because this is what they'll be looking for on your resume. It's key to becoming successful in this job. And obviously, you'll be applying to insurance companies. This job will get you to start analyzing risk in real life, like, dating him might be a bad liability. Now, this next job, I swear, it's just fancy digital filing. This job pays $60,000 to $120,000 per year. It is called a document control specialist. You'll be organizing digital files and folders. You'll be reviewing document versions and revision. You'll be tracking approvals and deadlines. You'll be coordinating document access between teams, and you'll also ensure compliance with internal and external standards. In different industries like healthcare, finance, engineering, accounting, these documents must be perfect, okay? So that's where you would come in. You then become the hero that nobody sees, but they literally can't live without. You can get started if you learn document management systems like SharePoint or DocuWare. It is best to highlight attention to detail and organization skills on your resume. And next, I want you to apply to regulated industries where record keeping is critical. The other job that's very high paying but very boring is actually a remote claims adjuster. And this is a job that used to be in person, but now it is fully remote. These claim adjusters, they're making anywhere from $70,000 up to $130,000 per year. If you get this job, your day-to-day is gonna look like reviewing insurance claims and supporting documents. You'll be communicating with clients via phone or email, and you'll also be approving or denying claims based on policy. You'll be documenting all claims activity, and you'll also be coordinating with legal or investigative teams when needed. Now, here's why it pays so much. You're literally deciding how much money gets paid out. And because of that, these companies, they want people that are sharp, that has their head on their body in this role. Now, how you can get started is just apply, because this job does not require a degree. The companies will actually provide the training for you. Having strong communication skills and analytical skills, that's definitely a must. And of course, you're gonna start applying to different insurance companies that you have an interest in. Number 7 on our list is a procurement specialist. Now, this job is so slept on, okay? It might as well just be NyQuil. Procurement specialists, they're making anywhere from $75,000 to $145,000 every single year. If you get this job, your day-to-day is gonna look like buying goods and services for companies. You'll be negotiating contracts and prices with vendors. You'll review purchase orders and approvals. You'll also coordinate with internal departments and track delivery and supplier performance. In this role, your job is to save the company as much money as humanly possible. And if you do it well, they're gonna pay you. You can get started by obtaining a basic supply chain or procurement certificate. You need strong negotiation skills for this position, and you also need to apply to manufacturing, healthcare, tech, or even retail companies. Once you get hired, this job is gonna show you why you will never pay for anything full price again. Not even a pack of gum. Okay, let's go to number 8. I need you to brace yourself for this one, because not only is this job high paying, but it's surprisingly stable. And that job is a funeral service manager. And yes, you can actually do this remotely. Currently, this job is paying from $65,000 to $120,000 per year. You're basically the person who makes sure that the funeral runs smoothly. Everything from coordinating with families to scheduling services and even managing staff. So this job is more about organizing and, having great people skills more than anything else. You can get started by earning a funeral service management certificate or an associate's degree. You also need to get licensed in your state if it's required. Next, start in a funeral home or cemetery office as an administrative support person. And then obviously you'll grow eventually into becoming a service manager. Next, you'll highlight organization, customer service, and management skills on your resume. Hopefully you do have experience in other careers that will align with this one. Okay. Here's the truth. Not because a job sounds boring, that doesn't mean it can't make you rich. In fact, some of the highest paying remote jobs are the ones that most people don't even talk about, like the ones on this list. These are literally money machines. You don't even need a suit. You can do all this in your pajamas. I'll see you in the next one.